looks like we're going. And it also looks like my Streamlabs phone app set up a little better. So sorry, y'all have been so kind bearing with me as I figure out additional functionality and so on and so forth. So, as I always like to say, hello cats and kittens, fuzzy friends and feisty fuckers. It's your friendly neighborhood boneless man with a quick life update. Yesterday, I streamed a little bit from the doctor's office, the Austin Heart Hospital, and due to my vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I have an enlarged aorta, which is just under the line of being considered an aneurysm, an aortic aneurysm. And spontaneous aortic dissection is what kills most people with EDS. Fun fact, one of the things that I really enjoy in my life is pulling people out of their professional persona and having a real human interaction and trying to make their day a little better. So my Echo Tech, who is imaging my heart, and I had a really nice human interaction. I got to be fun and make jokes and impart lessons and wisdom and experiences and really just jive with this young woman, Sunny Nini. And after that, I went back to my RV, which I have been maintaining for the last 3 years since the end of my marriage, as a place to pre-pandemic have weekly visits with my son, whom we trained together at Gracie Barra Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was invited to help teach his class very shortly after his enrollment. So that was a wonderful bonding experience that COVID has sadly robbed us of. And now that for the last 5 months, my ex-wife has secreted my child away from... I'm sorry for the background noise, y'all. I live in a house with 5 other human beings, and we all love each other. But anyway, since I don't get to see my kid, and I won't get to see my kid until I completely I'm so sorry. It's really aggravating sometimes, but love them anyway. Train of thought, y'all. It's a rough one. Since I'm not gonna get to see my kid until my legal actions take hold and I get my child back, in which my expectation is that he's gonna come live with me. He's already got his room ready to go set up here, and I've stripped all the rest of since we're not going to have to use the RV, and I haven't been using the RV, I've just been wasting money on it sitting there. I am going through the process of yesterday. I worked for just hours on end, stripping out all of the remnants of the life that I lived in my old family arrangement, bringing them here to my home, my family home, my new family home. And now I can get my son's room even more arranged. And I also picked up a lot of really magical items, I would say, which, in my definition, just being an item that has absorbed a large amount of your energy or a larger positive energy from a memorable life event, right? And I also realized that one of the benefits that driving from San Antonio to Austin multiple times a week granted me was a lot of time by myself to just think. And so I would, for a long time, have a lot of ideas while I was driving, but not be able to record them properly. And I fumbled around for a while with, trying to use voice recorder and whatnot, but then it's like recorded and you have to transcribe it, and you've got these 37 files, and it's a pain in the ass. Didn't work good. But I have refined my workflow around my Apple Watch and the reminders function, which you can create a reminder that has a very large amount of data inside it, and divide them in folders and create them on the fly using voice command, using Siri. So my musical productivity has been on a steady up curve, right? As I get my ashe, my spirit fire back, and have more passion and more excitement and more inspiration to do all of the things that I'm good at, and that move me in the direction of what I feel is my life's work, the reason that I'm here on this dang old chunk of rock hurtling through space at untold trillions of miles an hour. So, I successfully got my life stripped out of the RV, and I also was having a small mouse issue, just, Mises wintering in my RV. So I'm having to kind of chase them out, but no damage, no harm done. No harm, no foul. But stripping all of the life, practically and metaphorically, from the RV, zipping up the slide room, and I was working on flushing the tanks, and my friend Alan came by and returned to me a sword that he had had of mine for several years that he was working on sharpening, and then just never ended up getting back to me. So as we're talking, having a informationally dense interaction, I hear water hitting the ground. I'm like, oh shit, I fucking flooded one of the tanks, turned the water off. It wasn't that much water, in the greater scheme of things. And an RV is kind of built, it has body seams around the tanks, and so a lot of the water drained down. But I had to, before I could go back to San Antonio, I had to go run to HEB, grab a bunch of Crystal Kitty litter, which, if you don't know, is the same stuff as the little silica gel packets that say "do not eat." It's a desiccant. It's a dehydrator, and you can pay like $5 or like $10 for a little tiny bucket of it and call it a dehydrator, or you can pay fucking cents per pound and just buy kitty litter. So poured a shit ton of kitty litter everywhere and put fans on, left the AC running to dehumidify and pump moisture out of the air, and gonna give it a couple days, go back and work on taking it back to south of Houston, where my mom's property, the property that I grew up on from age 10 to 22. So, got that all working. All it needs to be done is just take the jacks down, air the tires up, and disconnect dump the tanks and disconnect the plumbing. And then I can drive it and mothball it, store it at my mom's place. But that potential date got pushed back a couple of days because there's a potential COVID exposure vector happening at the house right now. So, but everything thus far, as I understand, is okay and should be okay, but better safe than sorry. And so I really intended to do a full stream today and schedule it early on so that people would actually watch live. But I really, I had an explosion of inspiration musically on the way there and back. Several songs that have been floating around, kind of discombobulated chunks, have gelled into what I really want to do with them. And then several other songs, new inspiration projects popped up, and two of them ended up being what will end up being theme music for my channel that I own, and no copyright strikes, and so on and so forth. So I spent all day working on those, and one of them's basically done. I'll pop it onto SoundCloud here in a sec once I jump off of here. But it's actually a remake of the second electronic dance music song I ever made, and it was, I started raving in 1999. So from that era, I was really inspired by an artist who played a lot in Houston, Bad Boy Bill, and a lot of his mix CDs had his name scratched over it. I was like, wow, I want to do that. I want to put my name in a song. So I made I was actually learning to DJ at the time and was learning on drum and bass, jungle, because my brain, I was still in heavy metal drummer brain, and was having a really hard time kind of grasping house music structure. But my brain could grok the beat patterns of drum and bass because, that's fast punk rock or heavy metal or whatever, right? So I wrote a drum and bass song called I Got No Bones, and today I sat down in about 4-ish hours and I banged out the 2021 remake of I Got No Bones, and so that'll start being featured on the channel pretty soon. And the other track is gonna be eventually a full rap track. I have verses that I'm writing for it, but it's also gonna be my theme music sans lyrics, or just with the hook and no verses, and it's called I'm a Kitty Cat. So look for those soon. And If you just happen to watch this video and you're not a subscriber, please do me a favor. Trying to grow this thing. Disabled artist, work for free, give it to you. The things you can do to help me: click subscribe, click like, and comment, and go over to MrNoBones.com. Check out all my art, my writings, my philosophy. I try to add some kind of content at least once every couple of days. And if you feel like you have the opportunity, go over to MrNoBones.com/support and help me out. Drop $1 in my PayPal, or head on over to my Patreon. Patrons get a shout out every single stream. Single donations get one shout out per donation. So Irk the Irk and Priscilla, your monthly generosity on a recurring basis is deeply felt and appreciated. Love you guys. Remember, safety third. Stay healthy. Keep it playful. Be yourself as hard as you can. All cats are beautiful, but you can't hug every cat. Great Spiral is real, and reality's a weird place to live. Love, play, fight the power. Mr. No Bones, signing off. I love you.